trapped, seemingly, in a pressure chamber. The way this feels to me is my head hurts. I feel like I'm submerged. Funny that this is swords with what I'm about to say. I feel like I'm submerged down under the water. And there are all of these thoughts consuming me to the point that I can't go to the party. I can't take a moment to celebrate the beauty of this sunset. I feel like I am down in the depths of the ocean and I can faintly hear the party up above. It kind of reminds me of Ariel from The Little Mermaid. We have the Knight of Swords on the bottom of this deck as well. Sometimes I like the Knight of Swords. Very rarely do I like the Knight of Swords because it feels like pressure, like I'm being pressured, like I'm being marketed to, like I'm being pressured to do something against my will, or I'm questioning, is that how I really feel, or am I just being pressured? You could feel not only are you in a pressure chamber, submerged under the water, you could also feel like you're in an echo chamber. An echo chamber is when the same thoughts just keep cycling round and round and round. It's kind of like an algorithm. That this is the beauty and the magic of an algorithm, is that you think that things are signs. You think that, oh, this is being mirrored back to me, this information, this must be a sign. This person feels the same way about me, or this is the path I'm supposed to take, or wow, I just heard this in another tarot reading, or I just saw this on my Instagram. But really, it's just an echo chamber. I'm just going to pause on that because you can hear a pin drop saying stuff like that in this community, because everything is based off of intuition. Everything is based off of signs and synchronicities. But what happens, I'm not trying to put doubt into your heart, but what happens when you realize you're just being fed more of the same content with the same words and the same phrasings and the same types of people even? You know, you'll find that a certain type of person comes across your page with certain, the sort of look that you are attracted to. The reason why I like to pop this bubble and pop this illusion is not because honk honk, not because I'm a fun hater, but because I spent a couple years studying marketing and I loved my teacher, and she's brilliant, and she's had 17 businesses and she's very successful. This was around the same time that I spent a couple years deep diving into the stock market after I had left my Christian ministry behind that I built from the ground up, that I thought was going to be my life purpose. So I was like, what am I supposed to do? So in the meantime, in that in between, which is really what this reading is about, is this moment where you step outside of the chamber, and we'll get to that. Marketing is not just in what you see online, it's all around us. So we may feel stuck when in reality, we're not. It's an illusion. You can go to the party at any time. So that's what this reading is about. Now that I've taken a little bit of time away from everything and I, was able to collect my own thoughts, because I'm somebody that prides myself on the fact that I don't let myself get too sucked into the social media matrix, because I've already done this a few times. Like, I've had multiple YouTube channels. I've done a bunch of stuff online before this channel. So I know what it feels like for me to be in this state, to be obsessed and addicted and dopamine rush. And oh my God, all these people are liking my picture. Like, this is giving me self-worth. This is making me feel like all the years of narcissistic abuse actually were a lie, and I'm actually not a worthless piece of shit, and people actually like me, and I'm actually going somewhere with my life. Right? I've already gone through that cycle multiple times. So I pride myself in the fact that I don't get sucked into that. And yet, when I stepped away for 3 weeks, I realized that I was doing it again. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's so easy to get trapped here. And I'm not here to talk about demonizing doom scrolling and we need to get off our phones and we need to spend time with our family and friends and get off these phones. You know what? I feel like that's counterproductive. If somebody is struggling with an addiction, for example, you're not going to beat the addiction out of the person. I've dealt with a lot of people who are addicts, including myself. That does not do well. That does not help anybody, right? So this message is it's not really talking about social media, guys. This is a much bigger concept. I'm trying to pop the bubble of the illusion that you are stuck. You're not stuck. You may feel stuck. You may have consistent pressure reinforcing the fact that you are absolutely stuck and there's no way out of this and you're fucked, basically. You may have that constantly pressure. And I'm talking about a pressure that's unseen. Aside from the mass marketing and the consistent bombarding of our auric field to the point where it feels like you can't breathe anymore. That's why I was saying before, I'm somebody that prides myself in the fact that I don't allow myself to sink into that hole. But it just happens. It's like the company you keep, you become. So am I gonna go live in the mountains and turn off all of technology and not connect to the rest of the world? No, because I've already done that. I did that years ago, back when I was in Christian ministry with my parents. I was completely separate from society. I was in my early 20s. I didn't have any outside friends. The money that I got from my job that I was working at the time, I gave it all into the ministry. I didn't keep 1 cent for myself. I was completely codependent and reliant upon my family. I didn't have anything outside of that. I wasn't dating. I spent like 9 hours a day in my room, the days that I wasn't working, praying all day long, listening to sermons. I was completely separate from society. Like, I was trying to be as pure as possible, right? It was like extreme. That didn't do anything either. So I'm just trying to say, it's not either or. It's not like, oh, we should be like totally, completely filled with everything that the internet has to offer and everything that life has to offer, or the complete opposite, where we completely detach from that and we are in the cave with nothing and no one except for our own thoughts. That's a pressure chamber too. Right? And everyone has their own journeys. But let's get some cards. All right. I know I just came in swinging on that, guys, but the message couldn't be any clearer. This is what is making you feel tired. This Knight of Swords. It's what's making you feel trapped and stuck. This reading is about having an awakening or a rebirth. Yeah, in the mind. Let's join the party. Like, instead of being like Ariel under the water, wishing that she could walk on land with the rest of society, it's so hard because I'm trying to speak from multiple different angles. Because when you're in the spiritual community, we get so out there, man, that it's like you just can't reach people. It's like it makes me feel like I am walking between the lines of reality. And I'm not talking about you guys. I'm just saying, and I'm not talking about anybody specific. I'm saying the way I feel. Right? It makes me feel like I'm losing my mind. Because there's a clash consistently happening where if you guys were at my house right now, you know what I would be doing? I'd be sitting in my chair. I'd be pulling cards. I'd be praying. I have like multiple classes I'm taking right now. I'm doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Like, I don't really go out. Like, I don't really do much, to be honest with you. So, yeah. So, to be honest, it's like coming back on this show, it almost feels sacrilegious to me. And that's probably not a good thing to be saying to my audience, and it has nothing to do with you guys. It's like, I found peace, and I don't want to lose that again. Because as much as I love this, I love connecting with everybody, there's a side of all of this stuff that is so toxic that it's almost like it's like defeating itself, I feel sometimes. Like, I feel like I'm putting myself into a vat of poison in order to get these messages through. Right? So that's that's the choice that I've made. And I've always felt this way my whole life. I'd pretty much be like separate from society if I didn't like have what I have here, which is not healthy either. And that's part of what this makes you feel too. Look, there's the Eight of Swords. I feel a lot of us have been through so much in our lives that it comes to a point where we just like give up and give in. We're just like, you know what? And I don't even mean something crazy like, oh, I'm just gonna like trigger warning, like end my life. I've felt that way in the past many, many times. So if you feel that way right now, there's always hope. There's always a reason to keep going. But I'm just talking about give up, like, I'm tired of fighting against this current. I can't even see where it's coming from. And all I know is I feel like shit and I can't get my energy back. And I feel bad about myself and I don't know why. It's in the mind. It's the mind. And the mind is being filled with what we're filling it with. I know this is this message. I've heard this message my entire life. I've heard it in the church growing up, don't fill yourself with things that are not of the Lord because, you're going to be filling yourself with sinful things that are going to degrade your life over time. Again, I am not somebody who believes in extremes. The second we get into extremist thinking, we become extremists. And extremists are not the people who make change on the planet. Extremists are the people that are on the polarities that are causing the issues to begin with, my opinion, right? So I like to walk between the lines of those polarities and find actual solutions, bringing bits and pieces from both sides and weaving them in the middle like a spider web. All I know is that sometimes this is not good. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than I feel poisoned by it. And it makes us feel stuck. Again, I'm not just talking about social media, guys. I'm talking about like this echo chamber, this pressure chamber of life, of society, of, wow, you're 34 years old. You wanted to have kids. It's not looking good for you, Melissa. Like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, wow, you wanted to do this by this age, or, you know, you're like aging out, man. It's like, it's shit like that. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit. I throw up my hands. It's all bullshit. It's all fake. It's all pretend. It's all made up. None of it's real. It's all to control you. Nothing means anything and everything means nothing. And they'll use both sides to convince you of the opposite so that you feel confused and locked in and pressured. And what do I do? And I have to make this decision now. And if I don't make it now, then I'm not going to get this good deal. And if I don't get this good deal, then I'm not going to get the white picket fence. If I don't get the white picket fence, then I'm not going to do this. And you just ratchet up higher and higher and higher and higher. And then we bring the devil in here. It's like, oh, I'm just going to have a little drink. You know, it's a Friday night. I'm just going to, oh, there's that whole bottle of wine in the trash. Wow, I really shouldn't have drank that much. I did it again. 3 weeks later, did it again. Oh, boy. It's like, this is what happens. Right? This is what happens to everybody in some way, shape, or form. So I'm just trying to be a little bit of a different opinion, right? Because I'm not saying don't be online. Like people joke about like, oh, chronically online. In fact, I would say we need to be, because that's where everybody is. So who we're going to speak to? This is the World Wide Web. I feel like 100 years old saying that. I like to make myself an experiment so I can figure out a practical solution and then share it, right? Because I have a lot to say and I have a lot to do, and I can't hide away for the rest of my freaking life from society. Like, I can just hear the birds whistling outside my window, and it's like, that's where I want to be. Like, none of this is real, guys. None of this is real. The birds are real. I just feel like it's making us all go a little bit mad. Because it's not about right or wrong. It's not about that, guys. It's just about everybody fighting and everybody thinking, oh, this is the new thing, or this is out, or like, it's literally, it's not just about making money, and it's not just about control. To me, overall, it's about confusion and confinement. Confuse them and confine them and keep them distracted so they never come to the party. And I'm seeing this as, this is like the supper of everyone coming together that Jesus talks about, where everyone's invited to this heavenly party, right? And some people have excuses for why they're not there. I don't want to have an excuse for why I'm not there. In my own life, I'm saying. I'm using this as an analogy for the party is our life, right? It's like we're not at our own freaking party. We're like in the bedroom, like rocking back and forth, like metaphorically speaking, guys. I'm not saying everybody's just in like a state of complete disarray here. I'm just saying this is the energy on the planet. And some of us are more advanced where we are able to be in a state of observation when we are in this state, like when we feel in the Eight of Swords and that pressure is pressurized against us, like that heavy, heavy, heavy pressure to the point where it feels like you can't even breathe or think or anything or function or anything. It's like some of us are, it's like we understand we are bound up. We understand we have the blindfold on. We're consciously aware that this is the matrix and this is the programming and this is the algorithm and this is the outside forces and this is the energy and this is not my energy and these are not my thoughts, and you know, I'm on a higher vibration than all of this, and I can understand all of that. But even with all of that, that's this message. It's like an advanced class. Like I'm trying to say, the people that already know all the stuff, already go to all the conferences, already have all the tarot and oracle decks, already understand like Joe Dispenza and Eckhart Tolle and Alan Watts and know what I'm talking about here. I'm saying that there is a current that pulls at the side of the riverbed, and that gets muddy. And as we're walking next to the river, we get pulled in. Even if we are highly spiritual aware, we're in a state of observation. We are observing ourselves stuck. We are observing ourselves from the outside being marketed to. We know that these thoughts are not for our highest good. We are consciously aware. Doesn't matter if you're consciously aware. You still feel the way you feel, right? And I'm not trying to be negative, guys. I'm not trying to be negative. It's like I don't know. It's like I get into a certain, I step into the current when I film this show. And the stuff that comes out of me, sometimes I'm like, that's not at all what I thought I was going to say. Sometimes I even feel a little bit like embarrassed or weirded out when I look back at my own footage, because I'm like, that wasn't me. Like, I'm channeling stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm also sharing my own experience that I felt so good being separate. But there's a side of me that also wonders, the part that's observing, and is like, but are you just hiding away because you feel the energy ramping up on the planet and you know you're going to have to say controversial shit? And guys, it's not about like negative comments. I get so many negative comments every single day to the point that I have to consistently clear my energy. It's not really about like, oh wow, why is she like so worried about what other people think? It's not that. And I feel like it's not that for a lot of you guys as well. It's the way it makes us feel. It's heavy. It's pressurized when it's so much easier for me to just be like, peace, I'm out of here. Like I don't want to be a speaker anymore. Like I don't care about writing this book. Like I'm going to sell all my guitars. Like I don't want to be in front of everybody. Like I don't want everybody staring at me and commenting on my hair or my lipstick and stuff. And I love what you guys do. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. I look good for you guys, right? But I'm just saying, I don't know. I just need a minute. I'm sorry. I feel like there's literally 18 angles. There's so many angles to what I'm trying to say that I feel like I'm not saying anything. It's a feeling. It's not something that I can explain in words, right? It's like, I don't want to be here. I want to go home. Yeah, it's this. But I'm called to be here. And I have been since I was a child. And I've always fought it the entire way through. Because of the way it makes me feel. I feel like I don't have peace. I have crazy dreams. I wake up in the middle of the night every single night. You know, I feel like a lot of people relate to this because we pick up on people's energies. And if we are not vigilant on consistently clearing our energies, clearing our minds, understanding these are not my thoughts. No, I'm not stuck. You know, and actually like rebuking those thoughts and being like, my work is not pointless. My life is not pointless. I'm destined to be here wherever your here is, you know, and it's a weird crash out moment that happened to me when I was away from the show, guys. It's like, I work my ass off so like I have not taken a break, and I'm not exaggerating. Like I don't have weekends, and again, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm not saying like I'm not trying to make you guys worry about me. I'm saying this is the state of things. A lot of people feel this way. It's like I don't have weekends, I don't have time off, I don't take a break during the day, I don't have time for a snack. It's like so when I stepped away, it's almost like I had a crash out because I realized it's like going 1,000 miles per hour and then standing still. That feels weird. Like you start to question your reality. You start to be like, what? Like it's a really weird feeling. And I was still doing my shorts and I was doing my EP and everything. So thank you to everybody who came out for my Tissues EP. You can listen to the whole EP on my YouTube channel as well as on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you guys are interested. So it's not like I was totally like absent, but it really made me think. Like, I don't want to ever go back to that again. Like, I don't want to go back to that hustling feeling again. Like, it makes me feel, and I'm saying all this because I know a lot of you relate to it. It makes me feel like this. I don't know how else to say it. It just makes me feel like I am in a pressure chamber and I'm in an echo chamber and everything is just repeating back to me. Like an echo chamber is dangerous because like say it's something radical, like say it's something negative and radical and then that stuff just keeps repeating and people are thinking that this is reinforcing what they already believe, but in reality it's just echoing and echoing and echoing and echoing. In reality, it's a very small portion of reality. Again, going back to extremism and things like that. it's actually a very small percentage of reality, but it's being mirrored back again and again because of these algorithms, and not just algorithms online, an algorithm of society. And this has been how it's always been, right? But I'm looking for solutions on how we can stay vibing high and continually having these rebirths that bring us to higher and higher planes and higher versions of our own reality without having to be so freaking extreme, because I'm running myself into the ground, right? And I'm not even talking about the work. I'm talking about the way I feel in the world. Like, even if I didn't have this YouTube channel and I just went back to like being a CNA or whatever again, and just went back to my old life, or went back to being a minister, or just whatever. It's like it's the feeling. It's not about like, oh, maybe you should like take a longer break from your show. I'm not saying that, guys. And I love to be here. I don't want you to misunderstand me and be like, "Oh wow, like I hope you don't feel that way." Like, again, it's like a 17 angle thing that I'm trying to articulate, and it's really not coming out because it's the way I feel. It's a feeling, and it's hard to explain feelings. I don't know. It's hard to explain feelings. I don't know. I'm just gonna put on the clown nose. I don't freaking know, man. I remember when I was younger, I always just wanted peace. Like, that's what I always said. It wasn't about like money or love, even. Not saying those things are not things I want. Fame, like any of that. I was so, trigger warning, honk honk. I was in a state of fight or flight since I can remember. Like, I don't remember a day in my entire life, down to my earliest memories, that I did not feel in a state of fight or flight. So I'm programmed with that feeling. Like, I'm programmed with this feeling. And I feel like a lot of other people are too. And I've done it all. I've done this different sorts of therapies. I've gone to all of the revival services. I've gone to, the new age stuff. Like, I've I don't even want to talk about it. That's how much I've done. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just like, it's like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to think. I just want to feel better, right? And again, I'm channeling all of this. Like, yes, I do, Melissa Gordon, I do feel this way, but I'm just trying to demonstrate the frustrations that a lot of us could be feeling. You are the gurus. You are the lights in the darkness. You are the high vibrational ones. You are the chosen ones that break the chains in your family and make change on this planet. I'm talking to y'all. Like, I'm talking to people that already do all this stuff and already know all this stuff. What do we do? Right? I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for harmony. And I'm not saying life's going to be perfect and that everything's amazing all the time. I'm just saying, like, I couldn't do any more clearing than I possibly do. I couldn't pray more. I couldn't study more. I couldn't educate myself more than I already do and already have all these years. And so basically this message is, this is just how it's going to feel, guys. I know that sounds like really negative, like, oh, well, what? We just have to like live with this suffering. I'm not really talking about suffering, guys, because if it's that extreme, then we may need like outside assistance, and there's no shame in that and there's no harm in that, and I would recommend it. Because I've been in periods of my life where I literally could not take one step further in any direction, and I needed like help, like I was having a breakdown sort of a thing, right? So if that's what we're talking about, then I would suggest with love to seek some sort of outside guidance, right? To get yourself out of your head. I'm more talking about this pressure feeling. It's like pressure to perform, pressure to be a certain way, pressure to be like, I don't know. It's just so freaking empty. And I'm talking about in the spiritual community, and I'm not thinking about anybody specific. I'm just saying it's like we could be talking about the highest vibrational stuff in the world, and sometimes I feel like I'm just sitting there like completely empty. And that's nobody's fault but my own, right? We all have our journeys to take, but sometimes I'm just like, where's the next level? That's this reading. The next level. Where is the next level? Where is it? I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm hoping, I'm praying. Where's the next level? Because I see it. I see those people up there. I see the party. I hear the party. I know it's there. And they're high vibrational beings. And I know that's where I'm from. Right? And this density, this 3D world, the pressure of this planet is too much to bear sometimes. And a lot of people feel this way. So this is the pathway. This is the higher vibrational pathway that leads to the party. This is the next level. So let's look at it. We're going to get 3 cards. Hello and welcome back to the Metamystic Show. It's Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. Yeah, I love to be here, guys. I love you all, and I'm very happy to be here. I'm talking about energetically and spiritually, everybody. Even if, like I said, even if I didn't have this show, or I was just totally ghost on social media, no pictures of me, nothing, like I would still feel this way. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just amplified when you are online and, you have comments coming at you and stuff like that. And some really, really unsettling, strange ones. And just like, yeah, there was a time where I was just like feeling really unsafe, like stalkers, and just, yeah, I just can't, guys, with some of this stuff. I really feel sometimes I'm just like, I'm a Virgo. Like sometimes I just want to like go in my shell and just wrap myself in a blanket. But I know this is my work. This is the work, is that I'm coming back out of my cave again. I'm facing my fears. I'm coming back into the light again, because there were many, many years where I spent those years in the cave already. Like my next 40 years is about shining my light. And a lot of you, it's the same thing, right? So I'm not going to let this feeling be an excuse for me not to show up. Right? I'm committed, I'm loyal, I'm consistent. King of Pentacles. But I just wanted to come through with what I pick up on the world stage, which is this feeling, this pressurized feeling. So 3 cards for the collective, please. It's almost like a feeling of frustration or agitation, or, like when you're so exhausted and like the kids are screaming and like there's 500 things to do and you're just like, you just have like a moment. That's not like that energy, guys. That's in the world right now. So don't think don't be like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I like blowing up and stuff? It's like, and it might not be blowing up for everybody. It might be breaking down, like crying, like in the bathroom at work, or, going through the drive-through and just like eating a bunch of stuff to like calm yourself down, or smoking cigarettes, or, whatever. Guys, this is the energy on the planet right now. If you just sit on a bench in the park and close your eyes and feel, that's the frequency that we're going to be picking up. It's frantic, it's pressurized, it's marketing. God forbid I say it, but it's fake news. I feel like the fake news campaign was actually a campaign. Anyways, I'm not going to go there. I feel like that was actually a prepper for the fake news. But anyways, 1, 2, and 3. I'm not political, so I'm not going to comment. All right. The Strength, the Sun, 5 of Wands, 9 of Cups, King of Wands. Oh, Queen of Wands. Nice. Okay. Leo energy, big Leo energy, and fire signs. But I feel like that's just an energy to tap into. Yeah, my throat's closing off. We need more confidence in ourselves than ever before. There are going to be 1,000 echoes at your door telling you all the reasons why you can't do or be or have what you know you are, basically, right? 5 of Wands. The way it affects me is it gives this like weird depressional feeling where it's so high frequency. It's like a high pitched sound. It's like screaming like children. And I love kids. I was a nanny for many years, but it's like, but the kids are screaming. It's not like funny, like at the park, like kids are playing. It's like a screaming bloody murder, like, I can't say that word, but yeah. Can't say anything, can't do anything, can't move this way, can't look that way, can't do anything. Can't say anything, can't have anything, can't be anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's exhausting. It's really exhausting. If you listen to it. Now, that's another big facet of this message, is that this is the result. This is how we will all feel. I don't care how spiritual you are. Over time, it grinds you down, man. Especially if you're anybody who's in any sort of position that people are looking to you, any sort of leadership position with this Leo energy. I feel like that's what the Leo energy is showing. You don't have to be a Leo. Leo is the king. Leo is a leader. Leo is the light, right? And we have the King and Queen of Wands here, just showing these are the archetypes of who we need to be to combat this level of mind manipulation and control and suppression. And I'm not just talking about politically, guys, right? This is much bigger than that. In a sea of voices, in a sea of sounds, let yours resonate beyond. It's a higher frequency. It's like it can't even be detected. It can't really be picked up. It's also like moving so fast, you're like faster than the cameras can detect. Or maybe you're wearing Hades' helmet that makes you invisible. Like, in order to combat this level of energy that we are in right now, you have to be spiritual. I mean, I just, like, we need high level spiritual tools just to get through the day. My opinion, of course, right? My personal experience, my everyday life, right? I went to see the Avett Brothers, and it was at the Big E in Massachusetts. And that's a big fair, basically. And it's huge, guys. Like, it's not like a regular fair. Like, it's huge. And people come from all over the place, right? There's thousands of people there. You can barely move. Like, in the crowds, you're like shuffling between, like, you can barely move, like, through the crowds, right? Now, that, ever since I was a kid, that's been a lot for me. Like, when I'm in crowds of people, I used to think it was just because I was highly insecure and I didn't want people looking at me. Like, I used to think it was because I didn't want people looking at me. Like, oh, I'm whatever, just all the Five of Pentacles shit that we could say, right? It was never that. It was that I was picking up. Many relate to this. It's so much energy that at one point I was like, I need to leave. Like, I just, like, I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I know, it's like, wow, okay. Yeah. I know, I'm a fun date, right, guys? But yeah. I've always felt this way my whole life, though, and I know a lot of people relate to this. HSP, highly sensitive person, empath, and in the past, it made it so that I shut myself away, which is shadow Virgo energy. You know, it's like staying in the cave. It would be like staying in Plato's cave when I already had seen the sun, I have seen the world, I know what's out there, and then just me going back into the cave and just being like, well, all right, well, I'm just going to retreat back here, and that's that. And I've known since I was literally my earliest memories that I was destined to do what I'm doing. And it's not just going to show up this way. I have like other facets that it will show up as over the next 40 years. And I know a lot of people are the same way. It's like we are going from level to level to level to level. And some levels are harder than others, and some levels take years, and some take months, right? They're kind of like tests. They're training grounds. And if I just went with how I felt, I would not be filming this right now because it makes me feel raw. But I fight against that. I fight against the current with a higher vibrational frequency in order to overcome all of that. And that's the only solution I've found, is to just immerse yourself. Excuse me, confirmation. Immerse yourself in the chaos, in the fear, and do it anyway. I'm not saying we shouldn't listen to our feelings and stuff if we feel energetically like something's off, or I shouldn't date this person, or of course listen to that, guys. I'm not saying just do it anyway because you're trying to like grow or whatever. I'm talking more about like You know something is your purpose. You know you're meant to do certain things and be a certain way. Just walking in your truth in your everyday life, you know that. So to retreat is to be moving against yourself, right? And the reason I'm still here and still shining after all these years of being beat into the ground, 38. If you look up the Smurfia 38, I just want to be here, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like it is consistent. I don't know what to tell you. I don't really have. It's not really. The party's here. The sun is here. Everybody's smiling. It's a wonderful time. But at the same time, it's like right outside the gates is the war. So it's like a fight for happiness. It's a fight for a high vibration. And there's no other way around it. I don't know. Some of these people out here talking about high vibe and spiritually bypassing and stuff. And I'm just like, you're gonna spiritually bypass yourself into a midlife crisis, right? When it all hits the fan, you're moving 1,000 miles per hour, like I was saying before, and you suddenly stop, or you like retire and now you have all this free time and you like lose it. It's like, what is the reality? Life is suffering. That is a Buddhist concept for a reason. Life is hard. Life is struggle. Life is moving against what you feel, right? Life is pushing past your fears, immersing yourself as a form of therapy in the actual things that scare you on purpose, consciously aware that you're doing so. And then you can build into your brain, into your psyche, into your physical body, the reaction. I did this. I'm okay. Everything's fine. It is like moving against harsh winds. Like, have you ever been in a windstorm? Like a huge hurricane. Like, there have been certain windstorms that I've been in my life. Like, look at the trees. That's how you can see how fast the wind is. Where I was like moving into the wind and it was blowing my physical body back. Like, this is like the backlash of energy. We're meant to be the change because we're the only fucking ones who will do anything. And be the change, be yourself. That's all this is. This isn't about, politically changing the world or any of that. I'm not talking about any of that. To me, that's a lost cause. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be negative, but to me, it's all smoke show. It's all fake. It's all stage. They're all golfing together. You have they're all friends. They're all friends. All the CEOs are friends. All the political, they're all friends. They're all on Epstein's Island. They're all friends. All right. Card number 1, 8 of Cups. The only way to really overcome this is to just detach from it. To almost just be like, I don't know, man, but I'm going to the party. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to the party. Yeah, but all this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening, and this. I don't know, man. I'm going to the beach, bro. I'll see you there. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Because this energy is contagious. It's like a contagion. Just like the other one is. This is the anti-venom. This is the cure, is to purposely knowing everything you know, knowing all of the angles of every situation, knowing that you sound like a freaking idiot by saying, I'm just going to detach from all of this, knowing people are going to respond unfavorably, knowing that you're going against the winds of society, knowing that people are going to think you don't know anything or you don't care or you're living under a rock, or knowing all of that. Wisdom is quiet, right? And wisdom knows when to be very loud, right? Because the King and Queen of Wands with the Sun, they are leaders, they're speakers, they're demonstrators, really, above all, which would be this. This is a demonstration. This is like literally walking away from everything. But like I was saying before, it's not like isolating yourself from everything and everyone like my natural lean would be, if I'm really honest with you guys. It's like detaching from the bullshit, but not detaching from the party, not detaching from everything good in life, everything happy, everything noble, everything true, everything of good report. I don't know if that's from the book of Ephesians or if it's from like 2 Corinthians or what, but card number 2, the Hierophant. This is a belief system thing. This is like your own beliefs, not what society tells you to believe, not what religion tells you, not what New Age thought tells you, not what tarot tells you, right? Think for yourself in a world where everything's just echoing off the walls. Think for yourself. Create your own belief system. Walk away from systems that you don't align with. And make a new way, make a new path where there's peace and harmony and hope and it's high vibrational and the children are smiling. Happiness is a privilege and it's earned. It's something that, just like freedom, we take for granted. You know how people talk about, like, in a romantic relationship, King and Queen of Wands, speaking of, it's like, oh, well, they just took advantage of me. Like, they didn't see my worth or my value. We take things for granted when they're just like in abundance, but then when something gets thrown into the spokes of the cosmic bicycle, we're like, oh my God, I'm stuck. I can't move. I'm 8 of Swords. My mind is going 1,000 miles an hour. Or Knight of Swords. It's like, where am I? Who am I? What is anything? Just 3 days ago, everything felt right in the world, and 3 days later, it feels like everything's crazy. That's because of the news. The only reason we know about what's happening is because of social media, because of the news, because of what they're telling you, because of the narrative they're spinning surrounding it. Make up your own mind. Make up your own fucking mind. This is not just political, and this is not just religious. It's like systems. This literally right here is like breaking away from the Matrix. And to me, it's not a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. Breaking away from the Matrix, being outside of the Matrix, it's this. It's walking away from this and being like, I'm choosing peace. I'm going to go for a walk by the water. And it's not spiritually bypassing. It's rejection of what you know is propaganda. Again, not just politically, socially. I'm saying propaganda in general. I need to do this before this age. I need to look this way as a woman. I need to act this way as a man to attract a certain sort of a woman. I need to, or, whatever. Everybody's flavor is different. I'm non-binary. Like, people look at me funny when I go into a different bathroom. It's like, I've had friends that have had a really hard time with stuff like that, guys, right? So this stuff is not light. They're not light topics. But at the same time, it's an echo chamber and I'm sick of it. It's not doing anything. We're just going around in circles and people are suffering. Nobody's fixed. Nobody's helped. Nothing's happening except for more of the same. And they're just making money off you, man. They're just milking you all the way to the bank. And it's energetic. The higher forces are farming you. They're milking you energetically. It's not just about some 3D world paradigm. This is higher than that. All right, card number 3, justice. Yeah. I'm going to clarify justice, but look, it's like walking away from the conversation. It's kind of like getting up from the table and just being like, I'm going to get some air. You're like the only different one in the room. You're the only different one. And that has been a source of pain for a lot of us. But you know who actually looks favorably upon that? The ones who actually matter. Right? God, the divine, the higher order. You're different because you're meant to be. Right? You don't have to just succumb to all of this and just be like, well, this is the state of the world. This is what it is. And I'm just going to go with the group think so that I'm not the one weirdo walking by the water by myself while they're all talking about me. Let them talk, guys. Just let them. Let them. Because you're going to find peace and happiness that lasts. You're going to be able to maintain that high vibrational level while all these people claiming that they have it. The second one thing goes wrong in their life, it's like a complete and total crash out. It's fake. It's an illusion. Not everybody, obviously, but just clarify these. I feel like this is spirit's frustration. Like I'm somebody that doesn't even like to talk on stuff like this. Like I don't like to even talk about politics because I know it's gonna, not because I'm scared to, but because I don't want to deal with it. Like I want to have a nice day. Like I want to walk by, I want to hear the waves washing up on the shore and go pick up shells and connect with my creator and think about all the cool projects that I'm going to create and do the things that make me happy, right? Like, I don't want to get pulled into all of this because while everybody is fighting, I want to be one of the only sane ones on the planet. And I feel like a lot of people here know what I'm talking about. Right? It's like, while everything is absolutely batshit insane, we're like the only rational ones. We're the only grounded people. We're the only ones that like touch grass. Like we know how to regulate our energy. We know how to ground ourselves. We know when to take a break when we need to. Like I was guided to take a break. Like I did not want to. I was like, I don't want to step away right now. I can't step away right now. And they told me step away for 3 weeks. And it was like final. Like that's that. My guides, they don't play. Like they're direct and they tell me what to do and I listen. Right? Cuz I can be controlling in that I'm like, "What? You know, I got things to do. I have certain projects I'm working on and stuff." And they're like, "Melissa, you're going to step away for 3 weeks." You know what I mean? So if you're getting any sort of directions, I would just listen to it, even if it doesn't like make sense, because there might be some things you need to like rearrange or look at. Like I said, I'm not going back to how I was. I was going 1,000 miles an hour. I'm going a clean 100 now. It's yeah, funny. Funny that we have the car card. I'm talking about that. And 100's still fast, so I don't know. Just cruising down the Autobahn. But yeah. I got 40 years. I can't burn out at 34. So yeah. All right, 8 of Cups, the Hierophant, and Justice. I hope that everything I shared today was a message to each and every one of us here today in some way, shape, or form. All right. Ace of Pentacles. We can start something new, guys. Like if you're feeling overwhelmed in a certain thing and you feel like trapped, like you can't get out of it, if there is any possible way to step out, I'm seeing a fast carnival ride going like spinning in circles, and it's like a demon ride. It's not like a regular, it's not like those cups. This is like a demon ride. Like it's going 1,000 miles an hour, and I'm seeing you like jumping out and just like rolling on the ground like super fast, and then standing up and just being like, oh my God. Like you're looking at the ride from the outside. It's spinning 1,000 miles per hour, and you're like, what the hell was that demon machine that I was just on? I don't even know how I got in there. It's because it's bigger than us, guys, and we need to just step back and observe. We gotta observe. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, that's the new beginning with the Fool, is make your own new beginning. Don't wait for a new beginning. Don't wait. I keep on waiting for the world to change. John Mayer. You're not gonna see, it's gonna take 100 years. Yeah, Judgment. The world is changing, especially with Pluto and Aquarius. But this stuff, these are systems, guys. The Hierophant, Justice card. It's like, take care of yourself. Clarifying the 8 of Cups, we have the Queen of Cups. Do what feels right to you, even if people are like, what's wrong with them? Are they having like a midlife crisis or something? Better to create your own midlife crisis, so to speak, and to step away from the machine on your own accord than to be forced there through some sort of a crazy crash out, or God forbid, a health scare or something like that. Right, guys? I know people can't just step away from their jobs and stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like like I said, I was still doing my shorts. I was putting my album out over the last 3 weeks. I was still very much connected to everybody, but in my mind, I was doing something different. In my mind, I've gone to Carolina. Can you see the sunshine? Something about moonshine. I don't know. I can't think of the lyrics. Clarifying the Hierophant, we have the 6 of Wands. Create your own pathway of success. Create your own way. This is the road less traveled. This is where the innovators are. Is having your own belief systems outside of the systems that be, right? Clarifying the Justice card, we have the Knight of Wands. Let me ask what this Knight of Wands is here. I feel like he has a message. What do you want to say, Knight of Wands? Justice card. 3 of Wands. He's talking about expanding beyond the tower. Like, it's not about spiritually bypassing. It's about like realizing you're above all of this. And I don't mean that in like a hierarchical, religious, holier than thou, we're above all this. Everybody's on the demon ride. And you're the brave explorer, Page of Wands, who is like, I'm gonna have a different sort of relationship, a different sort of job. I'm gonna be the boss. Screw it. I'm gonna start my own business. Like, okay, the whole economy is in the shitter. The whole world is going up in flames. Oh, well, guess I'm paving my own way. Guess I'm making my own form of success. Guess I'm gonna figure out something different. I'm gonna balance the scales of my own life because things are not just gonna happen, guys. I'm not saying that the divine doesn't bless us and doesn't, want us to be happy and want the best for us. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're the ones who create this. One more on that justice. Knight of Wands, Three of Wands. Lots of wands here today. We got to be brave. Two of Wands. Create a plan for yourself. Create a plan for yourself here. Balance the scales of your own life and then expand beyond the rubble of that tower. Create your own success. What makes you happy, right? Don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to the world. Don't go with your feelings. And I would never say that, right? Because I feel like with the Queen of Cups especially, it's very important to intuitively pick up how you feel around certain people, certain topics of conversation, certain locations, certain environments, jobs, etc. Abso-fucking-lutely. But when it comes to this is the resistance. This is the resistance. There's a book called The War of Art, and he talks a lot, Stephen Pressfield, he talks a lot about the resistance. Speaking of all of this creative energy, I know a lot of you guys are very creative. A lot of spiritual people are because you tap into the divine, and the divine is beautiful, very creative. This is the resistance coming against all that you are. Like, this is trying to, like, this wind is trying to put your candle out, trying to put your light out, trying to suppress you, trying to pressure you so bad that you have a mental freaking breakdown. So not only can you not do any of this, but you're just kind of in survival mode. That's where the systems that be want you. 3D world and the 5D, right? I'm not even getting really into the 5D today, but that's for another day. Anything else, Spirit, in closing over the entire reading here? Let's just close this up. Not at all what I thought I was going to be saying today. That I was going to come back all zen, like, hey guys, yeah, like exactly. Like I was meditating under the tree and like this is the enlightening stuff I have to share with you all with like the sound of the trickling water behind me and everything. And I'm just like, all right, everybody, let's talk about all the shit I never want to talk about on a public platform. Well, I guess the card said what they said, right? With the justice card. Twice. We can create justice in our own little ways, and sometimes that's just by sharing ourselves, right? Like what I'm doing here. Just sharing a thought or two, just sharing a little something creative or, shining your light in some way. That's what balances the scales of your own life, of your own karma, of your own spiritual path, right? Of your own story. They want to get you out of your own frame. They want you thinking about, it's just like a narcissist. They want you constantly thinking about them because they're feeding off your energy. The second you put your focus back on yourself and go for a walk by the water and connect with your higher power and begin to become more balanced and even keel and like stoic, like nothing phases you in life, you are literally the most dangerous person on this planet at that point. So of course everything is going to come up against that. This is the solution to this. 2 8s. I love you so much, guys. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. This is the Fool's Rose. Isn't that cool? Great to see you guys again. I missed you so much. All that said, I missed you. I missed doing the show, and I'm excited to be back. Just some really heavy stuff came to the surface when I stepped away, like all the stuff that I didn't have time to think about, right? Yeah, I had a moment back there, but a good one because it caused me to reevaluate my whole life basically, and I was just like, am I saying what I really want to say? Am I presenting the way I want to present? Am I being as authentic as possible while still maintaining my privacy so that people can't like stalk and harass me and stuff? Because as much as I want to share like everything with you guys, I've got to have like some level of boundaries, right? Because people get really weird out here. They think they know you, these parasocial things and stuff. It gets really actually kind of scary. And so there's also an element of that for me where when I stepped away from all of that, I'm like, oh, peace and quiet. Just make sure to take care of yourself, guys. You know, I know it's hard to like put our phones down and stuff, but I'm telling you, like, even 30 minutes. Like, I just sit and hold my crystals and just like get as silent as I can. And, you know, people talk about different ways to meditate, right? For me, I feel like my meditation time is different every single time. Sometimes I have 1,000 thoughts swirling around my brain and I just let them pass like the clouds in the sky, and I just let them all come up and I let them all have a turn with the talking stick and complaining and talking about this and that and nobody loves me and all that shit, right? But then other times it's like completely zen. I feel connected. I'm getting all these messages from my guides. I'm writing stuff down. I'm scribing all this stuff, automatic writing, whatever. You know, it's different every single day for me. And if I didn't have that time, then, you know, we'd be in trouble because I pick up every fucking thing, right? And a lot of you guys are the same way, where it's literally you could be having the best day and then all of a sudden you feel like down in the dumps and you're like, what is wrong with me? And that's because you're picking up what's happening on the planet in general. It doesn't even have to be like, oh, that's my narcissistic ex pulling on my energy. Sometimes it's just the world, and we're fighting, like we're shadow boxing all of these invisible, and I'm not downplaying our situations, guys. I'm just saying sometimes it's not our family members or some crazy ex or something. Sometimes it's literally like, even if your life was perfect, everything was amazing, the sun, you're a high vibrational being, like a sponge. You will pick up all of the like impurities of the world, so to speak. So even if you have a perfect life and a perfect world and an amazing family and everything you ever wanted and all the money and fame and everything, whatever you want, you're still going to have to learn the skill of detachment, which is really what this is. People would call detachment bypassing, but it's an ancient practice of stoic thought. Like this is an ancient philosophy, detachment, and it's a universal law, the law of detachment. In order to have anything, we must detach from it, right? So it's not going to do anything to hover over, like, heavy breathing over all of these, like, political issues and fighting these religious wars. And I'm smelling like a musky, like, cologne. It smells really good. Sometimes I feel like that's what, like, can smell like the scent of Christ. It's like sandalwood and like very, or maybe it's one of you. I love you guys. Remember, you can always listen to The Metamystic Show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. EST, as well as on my YouTube channel at The Metamystic. Thank you to everybody who donates and supports the show. I deeply appreciate you guys. I keep smelling that cologne, and there's nothing like that in here. It smells good. Sometimes that's like an angel or something, too, when I smell things like that. If you'd like to book a personal reading, always feel free to just send me an email and I'll set one up for you. I changed my policy. I announced it on the community tab a few weeks ago that I changed my policy from 5-day turnaround to 7. So thank you to everybody who understands. It gives me a little bit more time to get through all the readings and take the time I feel I need to focus on each person so that it's more sacred, if that makes sense. So I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one.